Well, I enjoyed the movie. I watched it last night.
Glad to hear it.
It's quite a slasher flick.
It is. It's very much a slasher flick. And if you're not into slasher flicks, that can be tough.
Yeah. I just looked away at certain parts.
Yeah. I love making horror films, but I am with you. I'd rather watch a rom-com.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I watch it like this.
Yeah. I mean, it was very creative. And I could see what they were going for. There was a lot of humor in it, and and then the music worked so well with those scenes. It was great.
Yes.
So, how did this role come about for you?
This role, Joe Netter, I've known for a few years, and I've met Marcel socially a few times. And Joe told me that he wrote this script. He always wanted to create this character, and that he really wrote it with me in mind.
Oh, that's nice.
I was very glad to hear that you were on board, because I didn't really have a backup plan. I was like, well, good. Because it was just, when I read the script, I was like, ooh, this is yummy. This is delicious.
Great. And what would you like to tell us about your character, Lily, without giving any real spoilers about
Well, I think that a lot of us can really relate to Lily. Lily has been married to her husband, a movie director, for many, many years, decades, and he is tired of his wife, doesn't really pay attention to his wife, takes her for granted, and enjoys sleeping with all of the young starlets. So, as a woman, Lily, my character, she's done. She's had it. She has had it up to here. And she's still trying to make nice. She's still playing by the rules, but she's reached the edge. She's reached the point where she's tired.
Right. And she's got trouble with trying to find good roles.
Well, it's difficult as an aging actor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this role for me is just everything, because I'm 57 years old. There are not a lot of roles coming across for women my age. And when they do come across, especially having silver hair, I literally get so many grandma roles. And grandmas are great. But women are capable of more than that. We can be the president. We can be doctors and lawyers, the judge, the senator. We can play a lot of interesting women if we're just allowed the chance.
Right. When and where was the movie shot?
The movie was shot here in Los Angeles, well, actually Burbank, and it was shot at Wolfpack Studios in Burbank. And we one location for the whole thing, which really helped us save on time. We shot the script in 9 days, which is really fast.
Yeah.
Part of why we were able to do that is because it takes place in a movie studio. So we didn't have to broom out stuff in the background. We had a C-stand and a light that was not in use, whatever in the background. That's all fine. We didn't have to remove it. We could just let it show. Right. So that really saved us a lot of time and being able to make the movie quickly. And it all takes place in one day. Yeah. So one wardrobe.
And did you just do the movie as it was written, or were you able to make changes or suggestions about your character, dialogue, whatever?
Joe Netter, the writer, is always very open to me wanting to make adjustments, which I love about him. I did not change anything.
Wow.
I delivered it pretty much verbatim. I may have transposed words here or there, but he put it down on paper, and what he wrote was right. I didn't need to change it.
Wow, great. And did you have you worked with any of the other crew or cast before?
I have worked with the only person in the entire cast or crew that I had worked with before was Robert Donovan, who portrayed my husband, Mason Maestro. And he was amazing and wonderful. And I loved my scenes with him. And we had worked together about 20 plus years ago, and he didn't remember.
Oh, so that's nice. Yeah. Well, you're Of course he's gonna remember you. You're beautiful. Come on.
He did not remember me.
Oh, he didn't. I thought you said he did.
No,
Oh.
he didn't remember me. I'm like, oh, great.
Oh no. He reminds me of another actor, and I can't think of his name. He's been on a lot of stuff. He was Dexter's father, if you ever watched Dexter, the TV show. I can't think of his name, but he reminds me a little bit of him. I think I lost. Okay. I wanted to make sure I didn't lose your audio there for a second. Okay, so do you have any other fun or interesting stories that you can share about shooting the movie, or behind the scenes or anything like that?
One of the things that was very interesting, and I learned a valuable lesson as an actor, which even 33 years in the business, I'm still learning lessons. The wardrobe that Marcel picked out for me, the black gown, was lovely, gorgeous. Very low cut. And it was too long. It was so long. And so I wore my tallest shoes under it. I had on 6-inch platform heels.
Ooh.
It was still too long, which meant I had to, anytime I was entering or exiting or moving, I had to pick up the skirts and lift them to walk. And I wish that I had said, give me this dress, I will take it to my tailor and have it hemmed.
Right.
Because being hindered by that too long a dress, that got in my way. I mean, literally got in my way of performing. And I would have done myself a service had I said that.
Mm.
So I wish I had done that.
You know, maybe it helped you though, because your character is supposed to be pretty uptight. So maybe that made you more nervous. And
you know, it's one of those where, you know, I had a scene where I wanted to be big and theatrical, and it's like, nope, that can't happen because I can't move my feet without tripping.
Right.
But that was probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I always believe in happy accidents.
There you go.
So things that go wrong, so often are the magic moments, are the moments where it really works because of that thing. So this may have been one of those instances.
Yeah. Can you tell us anything about working with the cast? They seem, I don't know them, but they seem pretty good.
It's a wonderful cast. We have a really terrific group of people, mostly young and up and coming. Gigi Gustin is amazing. She's a powerhouse. I love her. She is terrific in this. You'll see well, you'll see.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie to watch, because I will tell you this, if you listen to the script, everybody's deaths are predicted in the script.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and think about that.
Yeah,
I was glad that the writer sort of went against type, not only with the feminist things, but that well, we know it's a slasher film, right?
Yes.
So we know almost everybody's going to die.
We know lots of people die.
Yeah. So I was really glad that the black guy wasn't the first one to die. That's such
Yeah,
a cliche.
yeah, it's such a cliche.
It is.
You know, it's like the black guy's like, well, I'm going to be the first one dead.
Yeah. So, that was nice.
Yeah, we tried to be very mindful of all of the cliches.
Good,
and
good.
sometimes we do the cliches intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
Sure.
nude scene is intentional because you've got to have the nude scene. And,
Right.
you know, it's just, so some things are very intentional. It's very designed to be that way. We're
Yes.
poking fun at ourselves.
Yeah, no, I like the interesting ways that they all got killed.
Yes, yes.
And you've done a lot of movies and TV shows. Which is your favorite genre to act in, and which is your favorite to watch? You said rom-coms, is that right?
I love watching rom-coms, and I would love to act in a rom-com at this age. Wouldn't it be wonderful to see a nice middle-aged rom-com? You know, some with like, because so many of us, divorce, being widowed, whatever, we're looking for love at a different time in our life.
Right.
I think that would be wonderful to see represented more often. So that would be a fun thing to act in, though truthfully, if I get booked in a rom-com, I'm probably going to be the evil person that's trying to end it because
You know, you might have to go to Lifetime to find a rom with older, let's say older people, because I've seen a few on there that were not the young people.
Lifetime is very good about using women that are other than women in their 20s.
Yes, they really are.
Yeah. But I love doing comedy in general. I love the freedom that comedy gives. I find that whatever I'm working on the most, I want to do something different. If I've done a bunch of horror films, I want to do a comedy. If I'm doing a bunch of comedy, I love doing a horror film.
Right. I think that's a lot of actors. They just want to do something different, play somebody different. All the time. Have you ever thought about writing your own rom-com?
I have written a couple of scripts, and I think it's safe to say that I'm not going to quit my day job. I'm not a writer.
Right. Maybe get somebody to collaborate with, and then sell it to Lifetime.
There we go.
And anything else that you'd like to share with us about the movie or making it?
Let's see. You can edit out great big pauses, right?
No.
I
don't edit.
No, don't do that.
It's okay. It's a tough question.
We made it on a shoestring budget, and everyone just put their heart and soul into it. I love doing independent movies because we can break rules. We can do things that you don't get to do in mainstream stuff. And, that's why we're able to talk about this right now, because we can promote not a studio system film. This is completely independent cinema. It's just, I think, and I hope that we are going to see a big resurgence of independent film and take a step back from some of these $200 million budgets and maybe start seeing things with more of a $2 million budget, things that can be made for a lot less money, that are less reliant on CGI, and just more about a story, because it's the writing that matters. It's the acting that matters. CGI is lovely and it's fun, but that's only really necessary for a certain type of film. And we need to get more variety back into our filmmaking.
Okay. And you have a YouTube channel for hair and makeup tips. What gave you the idea to do that?
Well, when I was 49 years old, I moved back to Los Angeles after living in Phoenix for a while. And I had a day job that kind of took over my life. And I decided I wanted to go back to being an actor, that it would be much, much happier. So I moved back to Los Angeles and decided it was a good time for a big change. And that's when I cut all my hair off and bleached it out and dyed it silver and then let it grow in.
Wow.
And in that transition, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how people treat women with silver hair, how family members and close friends treat women who choose to let their hair be a natural shade. And I discovered I didn't know what eyeliner to wear. I didn't know what to do my eyebrows in. And I'd look through the magazines and they didn't say anything. This was 7 years ago. And there was nothing for women with gray hair, no makeup advice, no clothing advice. And I thought, if I'm in the business and I'm looking for this and I can't find it, well, then everybody else is looking for this too. And I thought, I'm not a pro, but I've been in front of the camera enough. I don't care if I make an idiot of myself. If I make mistakes, if I do stupid things, I don't care. I do that all the time. And I thought, let me just share my own experience, because if it's true for me, it's true for others. And I found that really resonated with a lot of people.
Well, great. I'm glad it's successful. do you know how many followers you have?
Yeah, like 325,000.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been terrific.
Yeah, it's hard to get, there's so many YouTube videos. It's hard to get people follow you. So you must be doing something right.
I think really when people ask me how to get a YouTube channel going, it's like, well, talk about something that you really know a lot about, because you're going to make a lot of content before anyone's watching.
Yeah, that's true. That's true for blogs too, or any website.
Anything. You're putting it out and you just have to keep your chin up and keep your focus towards where you want to go, and just keep making it. Keep making it, even though nobody's watching. If it's honest, eventually people are going to watch, and it's going to speak to people.
Well, that's great. Thank you. I really appreciate you talking to me today.
It has been an absolute delight.
Let me turn this off.
Okay.
Let's see. No, I don't want that. I have to figure out how to do it. Okay.